Hey y'all, come on in. Let me grab this and then we'll be ready to roll. So what's everybody up to? I have missed y'all. There we go. All right, so everything's sent. We're good. We're good. Hello, Simply Monarch is watching. She was on right before me. I had to leave before you got finished, so time snuck up on me this morning, woman. Hey, Alicia. Welcome in. All right, well, we are going to do a few things this morning. I'm going to roll this over right quick. While we got 1 minute before go time, so as soon as we roll 1 minute, we are ready to roll. Hey, Sandy Rogers, how are you doing? Thank you, Miss B, so crafty. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I am in. Hold on 1 minute. Let me grab this. Oh, turn it down. Don't want to hear myself talk. And there we go. All right. I think we got it. Okie dokie. Well, we are going to paint some little pumpkins today. So I hope that y'all are having a good day. I hope y'all hang out and join. Who's already had their lunch? It's 1, so a lot of people probably already have. I'm fixing to have to grab some paints, y'all. I think, do I want to do that or no, I don't. Here it is. Whoop, I already got it out. Look at me. Look at me. I am doing good. I appreciate that. Life has been lifing, though. Oh, I don't like to hear myself talk. Hey, Jasmine, thank you for sprinkling. Hello, Miss Ann. Welcome in. If anybody's new, make sure you let me know that in the comments so I can give you the proper hello. And I tell everybody I have the best friends on the book, so I'm sure they will all give you a big old happy hello. All right, so we've got these little pumpkins that we're going to do, and I think I'm going to do the big one, orange, and then the small one I'm going to do a different color. Well, there is my friend Pretty Pieces by Michelle. How are you doing? All right. So what all have y'all been up to? It seems like it's been a month of Sundays since I have been live. We just had too much going on around here and all kind of stuff. So, all right. I think my thing's telling me everything that I hadn't looked at as of right now. So, y'all make sure to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I haven't been live in a few minutes, so Mr. Book's going to be mad at me, I'm sure. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'll be live. I should be live tomorrow. And I'll definitely be live on Thursday. So, maybe we can make it up. Well, there's Miss Brittany. How are you doing, sweet friend? All right. I'm going to put more than one coat on this. So, I got 2 pumpkins. One's a little short one and one is a big tall one, this one. And so, I think I'm going to do my other one a cream color. What do y'all think? The other little pumpkin. Hey, Mel. Like the antique parchment, maybe. But I am going to pick up a little dot of that. And I don't like... I think I need to go ahead and get that paint out. I got another another one. Shake it up. Good morning. Oh, goodness gracious. My kind of day. Paint Krispies. Oh, I missed y'all too. Like I say, it's just been a lot going on around here. I just hadn't been able to, I'll be honest, I just haven't been motivated. I'm sorry. We were super busy running last week with all kinds of stuff, and then this yesterday it just seemed like every time I got ready to go live, something was going on and it just didn't happen. So, you know, sometimes you just have those times. Hey, Miss Sue. That's why I wrote on there, life be life. And that is JR. For anybody that's new, that is JR. That's my bird. He's in the background. He's wanting to talk to y'all too. He's jealous I'm getting to be in here talking all by myself. He really wants me to come in there with him. That's what it is. He loves attention. But most do. Well, there is Miss Melanie, a.k.a. Trouble Block. Miss Trouble. But we wouldn't have you any other way, girl. We love you. All right, so I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to leave the little piece on, but I'm going to pull this one off. All right. And I got a little crow, and I got a sunflower, and we got a leaf. And I think I'm gonna use a button too, but I'll get the button in a little bit. So we're gonna need brown. I love how y'all go and get each other. That just makes my day. Y'all are so sweet. To me and each other. It's not just me. Y'all do this for each other, and I just think that is so sweet. Back at me. Oh, you might have been talking to Brittany. Alrighty. So y'all tell me what's been going on. What did y'all do this weekend that I missed? What has been going on? And last week, I didn't really get on much last week. The last part of last week was kind of just a whirlwind. I didn't get on much. I didn't do anything really. So, like I say, it was, I didn't watch any lives. I just wasn't on the book, so. You scared me all around to all of the troublemakers. Well, thank you so much, Melanie. You just made my day. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, I love my troublemakers. Hey, Miss Linda Sanders. How are you doing? My South Carolina friend. All right, we're going to make her a little bird. It's going to be a little black bird. We rode down to the lake for a little bit. We didn't camp. We just went down for a little while. And hung out, but that was about the gist of it. And then Sunday, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. White had to work, so I didn't go anywhere. I just did church on the computer, and I vegged out. After the week we had, I didn't get out of my pajamas all day long. Is that bad, y'all? So I think some days we just need those self-care days. I needed it bad. So we, he came home and we really didn't do anything. I needed to go to Walmart and pick up a few things, but I decided I didn't feel like getting dressed. And the one time ever that I have done anything where I didn't get dressed to go out, something happened and I had to be standing out in the middle of the road for a while. So, did I ever tell y'all about that? Oh my word. We had been camping and at the lake, and we woke up a little bit late. And so, you know, on those places, you have to be out at certain times, right? Well, we were running a little bit close, so I just told Wesley, I said, you know what? I am not even worried about getting dressed. I had on my pajama bottoms. I was heading home, y'all. I was heading home. I had on my pajama bottoms, and I didn't have on one stitch of makeup, and I think I did brush my hair, but I didn't do anything beyond brushing it. I get a phone call about halfway home. Mom, I've been involved in an accident. Oh my word. You know, of course, your heart sinks to the bottom of your stomach. And all you can think about, I mean, I don't even think about the fact that I have my pajamas on. I'm just thinking about getting there to make sure he's okay. And we were about 45 minutes away. So I called a friend and they took off. And I was like, oh my word. And so we get there. And I'm standing out there, and I just happen to look down, and I see my fuzzy socks and my Crocs, and then the realization hits me that I'm standing there in my pajamas, y'all. Takes the policeman 1 hour to get there. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was too much. And here I am standing out in the middle of the, well, we weren't in the road. He actually almost hit a gas pump. An intoxicated gentleman pulled out and, well, he turned into him. Blake was going down the road, and the man turned right in front of him, right when he got up to him. And so when Blake swerved to try and keep from hitting the man, because he would have T-boned him right in the side of his truck, he went flying up. And y'all, I'm talking about, you couldn't have slid this little bag in between him, my car, and that gas pump. It was scary. When I got there, I almost wanted to cry, because, you know, you think about how lucky you are. And I don't care about the car. A car can be replaced. I was just worried about my boy. And so the policeman came and, of course, got him. And the man was mad because he said it wasn't his fault. Running to protect my cub. I was running to protect my cub, no doubt. Because, like I say, I was so afraid that he was hurt. Because, you know, anytime you have a wreck or anything like that, you just have that sound about you, you know. It's just like, oh, thank goodness I have never, but way too close for comfort. Don't you know, girl? I mean, as soon as I saw that, I think that's what got me the biggest, was how close the vehicle had gotten to the gas pump. But hey, I was standing out there in my pajamas. It's a wonder that little highway patrolman didn't look at us and say, Lord have mercy, they look like they just came out from the Clampets or something. Oh, hey, Miss Barb Herbert, how are you doing? And there's Miss Dawn. Welcome in, ladies. I'm so glad y'all are joining me. It's been a little bit since I've been live. Hopefully, I will be able to go live a little bit more this week. And my plan was yesterday, but all right. So we got that. I'm gonna put another coat on the leaf, and then we're gonna redo the pumpkin again. Hey, Pam. Yeah, thank God he was okay. That was a close one. Closer than I like. But y'all, it hurt my heart after I found out he was okay, because I had a little Honda Accord. I had bought the little Honda new. It was a 97 Honda Accord. And I love that car. It was a little stick shift. It was wonderful. I enjoyed that car so much. And it had like, are y'all ready for this? And I'm not getting paid any money by this company. But I could do a commercial for them, honestly. But that car had over 300,000 miles on it. Is that crazy? It wasn't my daily driver at the time, but it was such a good car and it was paid for that we just kept it. And do y'all do that? Angels were around that car, no doubt. They were. They definitely were. I think the worst part about it for him, he was really sore after that because the airbag deployed. And thank goodness for the airbag because, I mean, it was, the way that man hit him, it was bad. But he said he was so sore after the airbag popped out. And he had like, where it had burning. I didn't realize an airbag. I mean, I guess it's got gases and stuff like that in it. So I guess it's, I mean, what would you expect? I reckon. I don't know. But it did. It burned his arms and he had burn on his neck. Your car's over 200,000 miles. Drives just fine. Yes, yes, yes. Like I say, I believe, and I don't know this for certain, but I believe we'd still be driving that little Honda Accord if it hadn't been for that. So, like I say, I was thoroughly pleased with that little car. I don't know if, well, Blake drives a Honda. You know what? I guess because that car did him so good, he owns Hondas too. So, he has a Honda Accord to this day, so... He, somebody said that something about 300K. Your Accord made it over 300. It was from the 90s. They don't make them like that anymore. No, they don't. Mine was, I want to say mine was a Honda Accord 4-door LX, I think was the, I don't think it was an LX. It wasn't the top. I think back then the top of the top was the EX. And I didn't have that. I had but I didn't have the bottom of the barrel. I had the LX, I think. That was the middle one. But no, like I say, that car was so good. And I just put new tires on it. I was heartbroken. But no, they definitely don't make them like that anymore. But I think, you know, Hondas have such a good reputation. They got a good reputation, y'all. Good reputation. And they have really good resale value. So, that's always such a good buying and selling point. And I actually had looked when I bought the car that I have now. I actually looked at the Honda Pilot, but I just couldn't get past the interior. It was not very nice. And I was wanting it to pull something with, so it didn't have a built-in hitch, so I decided to go a different direction. Your daddy had that same car and drove it and didn't want to give it back. Oh, my. We're great cars. Mine was a 5-speed, too. And would y'all like to know a fun fact about that car? It was a 97. I can't remember what year. God, it was maybe 2010. No, it was longer than that. 2012 or 13 is when that happened. And y'all know it had the original clutch in it. Yeah. I enjoyed driving that little car. It was so much fun. But I'll be honest with you, I don't have it in me to drive a stick shift again. Once I loved that little car. But once I got out of it and started driving something where I could just kind of relax when I was driving instead of having to change gears, which I think when you drive a stick shift, y'all tell me if you agree, I don't think you think about it. I think it's just, it comes natural changing the gears. I didn't even think about it. But, my stepsister's husband bought her a car, God, years and years ago. And, it was a stick shift. And I don't think she learned how to ever drive that car. She went someplace one day, y'all, and she got on a hill. And a car pulled in behind her, like right in behind her. And she sat there, and she sat there, and she sat there. And she said she sat there through about 3 red lights. And finally, the little gentleman that was behind her, after he blowed the horn at her and she didn't do anything, of course, he got out of his car to come over and look at her and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "No, sir, I'm not." And he says, "What's the matter?" She says, "Well, my husband bought me this car that I didn't want because I don't know how to drive it. And I'm afraid if I let off of this clutch, I'm going to roll back and crash into your car." She said, "So one or two things are going to happen. Either you can drive a stick and you're going to get my car off of this hill, or we're going to have to wait on my husband to get here." She had already called her husband. And he said, "Well, ma'am, I don't have time to wait on you, so let's get your car off this hill. Go ahead and call your husband and tell him it's covered." And I was like, and they were at the dealership the next day buying her a different car because it was, I guess he figured if she got it, she would just learn to drive it, but bless her heart. Blake might want to get a massage table. Oh gosh, Melly, that was years and years and years ago. That was like 2012 or 13. No, it didn't happen recently. That was a long time ago. I'm just telling my stories, girl. Your daughter's first car was a Honda Accord. She drove that car for the whole high school, college, and oh, I know. The clutch lasted all that time. It did, Chesney. Well, I'll tell y'all how I actually learned how to drive a clutch. I don't know. I might have already told y'all this story. But I had a friend in high school, and her name was Rhonda. And so Rhonda's parents, I think it was a Ford Escort, y'all. Her parents had a Ford Escort, and that was kind of the car that they let her drive. And they went out of town. So I was spending the night with her, and something came up about the car or something. And I said, well, she told me to drive someplace. I said, I don't know how to drive a stick. She said, "You don't know how to drive a stick shift?" I said, "No." She says, "Oh, girl, we got to teach you how to drive a stick." And I said, well, okay. And so she lived, her house was like on one of the little local mill villages. And so it had paved alleyways. And so she's like, "We're going to get back here. We're not getting on the road. We're going to get in the back alley." So I guess I was back alley driving. So I get in there. Of course, you know, the clutch in that car probably didn't last a lifetime after I got through with it. But anyway, so she, finally I got it going, and I was doing pretty good. I was feeling real confident. And we started going down through the back alley, and I kept getting faster and faster and faster. So, you know, at some point you got to stop, but I hadn't mastered that yet. I just mastered the clutch and the gas. You know, the clutch, well, you got to mash the brake and all the things. Well, anyway, so there's this little man, and he's like, with a little hoe, he's getting the grass out from around beside the little paved back alley, and he saw me coming, y'all. He threw that hoe, and he was like, "Ah!" and took off running. I was like, oh my Lord. I told her, she says, "We better go back home. My mom and daddy know that man. He's gonna tell on us." I was like, oh no. And so, but he never did. We were like, whew, we were so nervous. You felt powerful in your little, oh yeah. Only standard you ever drove was your daddy's truck. He used to say, "You rule of it, don't find a gear, grind a gear." Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, I never drove anything that was on the column. All of mine have always been like on the floor. I think it'd be harder to drive it if it was on the column. I don't know. Hey, Lisa's Crafty Closet, how are you doing? Well, guys, I forgot to tell y'all that I am in the Southern Messy Crafters group today, and thank you to all of the admin for having me. I appreciate y'all so much. But and if y'all are not already following over there, in the description above, you will find that. All right, so I'm gonna let my little guy here dry. That's done. That's done for now. I need another coat on that. Let's do our little stem brown. And then we got one more to do. I'm only 30 minutes in. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe. Lucy and Ethel. Oh, gosh. Yeah, definitely we were. We were so bad. Well, we didn't get in trouble, but the little driving thing, I think probably the driving thing was probably the worst thing we ever did. That we were not bad kids, but she was bound and determined that she was going to teach me to drive a stick. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, no. But a 5-speed is really fun to drive. Who's never drove one? And it's no shame. If it hadn't been for Rhonda, I probably wouldn't have either. Hey, Becky, how are you? Oh, Rhonda was the brave one. I hadn't seen her in years and years. Isn't it awful how after you graduate high school that you just kind of drift apart from everybody that you knew? That was the saddest thing for me, is when we were out of school, all of the friends, you know, you all go different directions. Some go to school, some don't. You all get jobs, but that was always so sad. How everybody just loses touch. Because some go off to school and then they would meet their significant others and just never come home. So they live in other states. And did you have fun learning to drive? I did have fun learning to drive. Now, my daddy, he was a stickler. I was later getting my driver's license than most, because he had 4 girls, and everybody had to learn to drive, well, I take that back, all but the last one. Had to learn to be able to check your oil, change a flat tire by yourself. You couldn't have any help. And do y'all know I have done that before? I had a flat tire when I worked in town one time. I came out of Aldi for my lunch break, and there I had a flat tire. I'm fixing to turn on the heat. And I was like, oh, man. And you know, there's all kinds of men that'll walk right past you and not even look at you. I get it. I do. Because, you know, somebody will come to try and help somebody, and then, you know, something's happened and they've done something to you. I get it. This day and time, people just being safe. But a dozen men walked by me, and I was already in the trunk, you know, getting my jack out and my spare tire, all the things, because my husband was working he was in another town over. It would have taken him way too long to get to me. So, of all days, I have on sandals and a dress. And so, here I am in the Aldi's parking lot with my dress on, my little flat sandals, which I eventually took off. And I'm changing this tire. Get ready to get the lug wrench out. Get ready to break the lug nuts loose. Well, my husband thought he was He-Man when he put my tires on, and guess what I couldn't do? Couldn't get those dang lug nuts off. But I remembered a trick. Are y'all listening? Y'all listen in. I remembered a trick that my sweet little daddy had taught me when he was teaching me to change a tire. If for some reason you can never get your lugs off, put your lug wrench on and jump on it, like on the bar. Well, I broke those lug nuts off like a charm. And I called to the office and I said, hey guys, I'm going to be a little bit late from lunch. I got a flat tire, so, and they're like, well, where are you? And we'll come help you. One of the boss men said, and I said, no, I about got it now. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, they assumed somebody was helping me. And so I got back. My feet were about as black as the road because I had done it barefoot. And I looked like I'd been through the war, I'm sure. And so they're like, oh my gosh, what happened? And I said, I changed a tire. They're like, you did not. I said, I did too. They're like, you did not change a tire by yourself. I said, go get the Aldi footage. It'll show. And they're like, you really did that by yourself? I said, I really did that by myself. I said, all these men walked by me and nobody helped. And they're like, oh my word, why didn't you call earlier? I said, well, I had it. And they're like, I can't even believe you know how to change a tire. I said, well, you weren't raised by my daddy. My daddy wouldn't let us learn to drive until, well, he wouldn't let us get our driver's license. We knew how to drive, but he wouldn't let us get our driver's license until we mastered all of the skills that he thought were important, that one day, if we didn't have a significant other, that we might need. And you know what? I thank God for him every day that he did that. But the scariest, I've only ever had 3 flat tires in my life. But one of them was super scary. The first one, the little man did stop and change it for me. And the second one was at Aldi. The last flat tire I had, I was coming home. I can't even remember where I was. But Wesley was probably 30 minutes from me. And ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I'm like, where does this happen? You know, why me? Anyway, so I stopped. Pitch black dark. I wasn't real enthused because what am I? Afraid of the dark. Yes. And so I called Wesley, and of course I am upset. I said, I have got a flat tire. I may or may not have been crying. And I said, he's like, well, just sit in the car and I'll come on. And I said, no, I got it. I got to do this. I'm going to do it. I said, no need you coming all the way down here. I'm going to do it. And so there's like 2 houses that are kind of near where I'm at. And y'all, I was so scared. This little man comes out of one of those houses. And he said, ma'am, can I help you? I said, no, sir, I got this. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. It's dark, you know. I'm like, oh, my word. But I was so afraid. But I didn't let him help me. I just was like, no, sir, I got this. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. And he went on back in the house. I guess he probably looked out the window and thought, look at that crazy girl out there doing that when I could have helped her. But I was so scared. But no more flat tires. I get my tires done regularly. I am not having any more flat tires. Oh, your husband will always stop. Yeah. You have girls and he hopes. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I would too. But, you know, there's so much stuff that goes on anymore. I understand why people are reluctant to do it. I really do. This isn't the world we grew up in, y'all. Believe me. Unfortunately. Scared that man to death. He scared me to death, Pam. What about me? Oh, my. But you know what? I guess I wasn't expecting anybody to come out. So as soon as he appeared, I was like, oh, my gosh. Oh, but I made it through, got home, and I told Wesley when I got home, I said, I want new tires. And he's like, well, the tires you got on the car aren't that old. He said, it looks like you just picked up a nail. And I'm like, well, we got to do something because I can't keep doing this. He's like, well, I can't walk around and do a nail thing on the road, which I get, but it was still. All right, so let's do this, and then we got to get going, guys. I'm fixing to not have enough time to finish. Oh, he looks a little scared. Let's make that black a little bit larger. We can't have a scared bird. So who in here has ever changed a tire by themselves? Y'all tell me. Anybody? It was not something that I wanted to learn, but you know what? When I had to use it, I was glad I knew how. You keep a can of Fix-A-Flat in the car. So, oh, I know, girl. I don't even know if I knew there was such thing that, I mean, this has been years ago. And I'm sure that stuff just hadn't came out, but you haven't, but you're pretty sure you can. Well, like I say, the hardest part is the jack to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this part together, and then we'll glue it all together when everything gets dry. And we got another one, so y'all don't leave me. I'm thinking that we're going to do it that parchment color. What do y'all think? This glue, y'all, is not a friend. Nope, you haven't. Hey, Mary Ellen, how are you? I hope you were having a good day. Thank y'all for coming in and hanging out. Like I say, I was afraid everybody forgot me. I haven't been live in a few days. Well, what in the world did I get on that? Let's pick off. Dried paint. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put the leaf on too while I got the glue. Yeah. This day and time, you just got to be careful. And you know what? I think, now I'm going to just do this. I'll do it on the other one. Because I'm going to finish the other one. So we got to get moving. I should have pulled them up both out at the same time and been painting. Alright, so I'm not going to put that on yet. Like that glue. Alright, so I'm going to set this one. That's what we're looking like so far. Isn't that cute? And let's do this one right quick. It's little, so it shouldn't be too hard. Plus, we already got all our paints out. And they have little stands. So, I can get it going. I got to stay out that orange, y'all. Did y'all see her? Well, you thought the bottle was... You saw, hey, I always, which that white that day came out the bottom, so there's wasn't much I could do about that, I'll be honest. I think I got way too much of this out. Hey, Miss Kelly, how are you? You love the little pumpkin. Well, thank you. Well, I actually just marked them down in my shop because this is $10 Tuesday. I don't think the group's doing $10 Tuesday, but I think I'm going to start doing a $10 Tuesday every week. So, it's in my shop, and then when you go and look at the pictures, for this one, there's a picture of the little pumpkins with a little crow shelf sitter, and he's marked down to $10 today too, and it'll go through midnight tomorrow. All right, I definitely need more than one coat. And it actually needs a little water in it because it is gummy. This paint is a little bit old, I think. Some paint will get watery as it ages, and some gets really thick. I think white usually gets really thin, and like this color and brown will get super thick. All right. You had a flat tire on the the interstate. No, not the interstate. Oh. You pulled over and told your coworker to watch out to see if anyone pulled over to offer help. Tell them we don't need help. You were changing tires. She watched for you. So you had to look out for the flat tire. Oh my gosh, Cindy, that's funny. But you know what? You can't be careful. You're too careful anymore, you know? It's crazy that we have to. I remember a time that I would have stopped. I'd have let somebody change my tire in a heartbeat back in the younger days. But as you get older, you start thinking a little bit more. You know, as teenagers, we don't really think about too much except for how we're going to get there next. So, alrighty. Let's see. Let's go ahead and paint our little, we're going to do the little crow black on this one too. And you could do the little birds a different color. I just thought since it was fall and most people associate crows with fall, I thought that would be cute. And the little crow shelf sitter is adorable. So y'all have to go look. I tried to link it right before I went on, but it wouldn't let me. So I tried to put it in the comments and it wouldn't let me. So I will make a post here. Hey, Estella, how are you? And there's my friend Pam King. How are you doing, madam? Welcome in, friends. You were scared that someone was going to pull off. I know. Hey, this day and time, wouldn't you be afraid that somebody would just like go off the road and hit your car? Woo! You see those videos of where people do that and hit those police cars and stuff? That's scary, y'all. Wouldn't you hate to be pulled over by the police on the side of the road and a car come flying off and crash into your car and wreck it? That would be bad. Sure, hopefully that policeman would not give you the ticket that you were getting ready to get, right? Oh, that would be awful. Awful, awful, awful. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go into the green while I got this brown. I just like to take, I will mix colors, y'all. I'm the world's worst. That's Christmas green and just brown. And I just mix them and it makes more of a, maybe a marsh green, army green kind of, maybe not quite that dark. It's sad you have to live like that. I know. Hey, Nancy. You lost a huge limb, no damage to anything. Oh, no, wait a minute. Choking rain over the weekend, lost a huge limb, no damage to anything. But, oh, wow. Potluck supper, umbrella down. Oh no, a Mary Poppins moment. Well, if you had had that, my only hope is, Melody, that somebody would have caught that on film for us. We could have posted it in Karen's bloopers. Mary Poppins. We'll call you Melanie Poppins. How about that? Oh my gosh. No, that would be awful. Well, I told y'all about that lady that got, this umbrella got struck by lightning that time in the parking lot. We were at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we were at the aquarium. Blake was little. I mean, to the point of being stroller little. Not, you know, he wasn't like running around and stuff like that. He was in a stroller, so it was raining, but I think it was either the first or second year the aquarium had opened, and we were bound and determined we were going. And it was raining, and there's nothing to do. You can't go out on the beach when it's raining, so we decided that we would just go and see the aquarium. And so we go over there, get out, and like I said, it is raining like crazy, and it lightning, and y'all, it knocked that umbrella right out of that woman's hand that was running across the parking lot. I never seen anything like it for my life. And would y'all like to know what she did? She proceeded to pick that umbrella up off the ground and continue running. No, that umbrella still be laying in that parking lot and said, let somebody pick it up for me. No, no, no. You could not have paid me money to pick that up. Not after it just got knocked out of my hand with lightning. Would y'all? No, no, no. Guess what happened to you on Saturday? Air compressor on your van went out. No, Brittany. I'm so sorry. I tell you what, vehicles, they're great when they work great, but they can be aggravating, that's for sure. They definitely can. Yes, Pam, that's what I said. No. That umbrella would still be there. You couldn't have paid me to pick it up. Negative, negative. Alrighty. I'm going to do one more coat of brown on our little stem. And then we're going to paint our sunflower, put another coat on our pumpkin, glue it together, and we're going to be about done, y'all. We got 15 minutes. So I got to get going. No way. We respect the lightning. Yes, I know. I saw, we had a bad storm come through where I live. Well, it wasn't where I live. It was in a little town out from it. But a few nights ago, and there's a report that someone was struck by lightning. So yeah, lightning's one of those things. I know, I thought, where was it I saw that? And y'all don't quote me on this, but I want to say the thing that I saw said that you can be struck by lightning when it's, was it 5 or 10 miles away? And I thought, now how the heck is that going to happen? But that's what they say. So if you see a storm, I guess that means carry your hind end in the house. You do not need to be out here. Do y'all know what that statistic is? I know there was a storm that went through somewhere last night near us, and there's people still without power. I'm like, ooh, so glad that wasn't here. It's too hot. And I know, y'all know I love the heat, but it's too hot to have no power. I like heat with air conditioner. All right, so let's go around on that one more time. All right, let's put one more coat on our little pumpkin, and then we are going to do the sunflower and put it together. Saying you're coming live only 5 minutes ago. Wow, look at that. That's crazy, Nancy. I sent out a telegram. I don't know. If it came from Facebook, I'm not shocked. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I think sometimes they don't. So, I'm sorry. Sorry. But I always send out the telegram. And then I send out the, I usually try to put it on here to like one of the little picture thingies. But we're having to be a little more careful with that because there's a lot of people that are getting in trouble for doing some of those things. So I saw somebody this morning post and said that they had lost their page until September the 19th because of something that they had done or something. I don't know. If it gets too dark, just tap in and lighten it back up. You're joining my Telegram. Okay, good. I'll put a post in here too. And we'll just do ! Telegram right before we go off. And it'll take you over to my Telegram. And it's ! Telegram, all little letters and all together. All one. And I don't spam you or anything. The only thing you'll get from me over there is a notification saying I'm live or I'm going live at such and such time. And every now and again I might post some free prints or something like that, but I hadn't even done that in a while. I hadn't been ever making any of those in a little bit, so. All right, so we got our pumpkin done. I think that one turned out cute. I wished I'd have done more shading on the orange one. Let's see. Hey, Darlene, you had a bad storm last night. Your weatherman said that if you can hear the thunder, you can be struck. Yeah, I believe it. I'm going to go in when it's doing that. I have been guilty of, though, at the beach. Probably staying out there longer than what I should have. But most of the time, the storm is going to get pushed back and it's not even going to come over you. But I guess I should. And like I say, we don't have any warning that it's coming out there. You just have to look back and be like, oh, look at there. We got a cloud. We got hung out in the rain one time, but it wasn't storming. It was just a real heavy rain shower, but it wasn't stormy. Hey, Handmade with Heart by Devonna. How are you doing, my sweet friend? There's my friend Miriam, Miss Becky C. Welcome in. I thank y'all for popping in and hanging out with me. All right, let's dry this right quick. And then I'm going to put one more coat on my sunflower, do some shading on this little baby. And we're just going to put it all together, y'all. We got 7 minutes. All right, let's. Just stopping to say, hey, I'm so glad you did. And guys, anybody that sees any of my friends in here and their business pages, make sure to come back afterwards and give them a like and a follow. And if you are not already following over at the Southern Messy Crafters group, I told y'all this group is, they were after my heart when they named it because they knew they were naming it after me, I think. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The Southern Messy Crafter. I mean, what kind of cute business name would that be? Adorable. All right, let's fix our brown right in the middle. And I don't think we're going to see it, but just in case. We can't have people seeing our bad stuff. I wish I'd made that just a little darker too. But you know what? Just because it's got paint on it doesn't mean that you can't go in and put some more on it. There we go. All right, let's fix our little crow. We got 5 minutes. I'm not going to have time to do the little bow, but I'll show y'all what I was thinking about. Well, it no longer has an eye. Let's go ahead and do this. That's what happens when you get into a hurry. All right, I think I lost my comments over here, y'all, so I'm not ignoring anybody. I just can't see your comments right this minute, but I'll get it pulled back up in a little bit. I'm not gonna have time to do that. I'll show y'all that. I'll show it to you. We will we'll come back and I'll show y'all how to finish that up tomorrow. So that is our other one. So you could do them like this and have your little bird sitting like up here. Or you could even put your little sunflower on. Have your little bird sitting there. And my thought process was, I think I got one right here, is I got some little buttons, and I'll add a little button to the kit. And you could take some raffia. And this is just the scraps got laying on the table, y'all. Sorry. But just make a little raffia bow to put on there somewhere. Probably make it smaller than that, maybe more like that. Put a little bow and put a little button in the middle, and you could put it like right there. What do y'all think? I had some brown I was going to use on that one. Isn't that cute? So we got that one, and we have the bigger one, and you could put that up top on it, and have your little sunflower sitting like that. But we'll put them all together. And they both come with little stands. And I will tell y'all a secret. Y'all got to watch tomorrow, though, because I'll tell y'all the little secret with this. But there's a little secret to put your little stands on. And to be able to store them. So y'all will have to come back and watch for that. But just know that this is my $10 Tuesday special. So you get all the pieces to make both pumpkins, including 2 buttons for $10. And then there's a little crow that's in the pictures, and it's $10 too. So you don't get paint, you don't get glue, you just get all the wood pieces to assemble it and the tutorial here. But we got to give him an eye back. We got a minute. 2 minutes, actually. So let's give him his eye back. Let's try and do that. It probably won't do while it's wet, but... a little bit. And I know you can see, like, in behind that, it looks white. That's the glue. It'll dry clear. Just make sure you use clear glue. But, like I say, the little pumpkins... I'll do this. I'll do this one since it's dry. The little pumpkins will stand up. And so you won't have to worry about them, but they'll stand up just like that. This not hooked, but there we go. How do you order? Miss Nancy, I'm going to put it in the comments in just a few minutes. I tried to, it's linked up above, but I don't think it made a link. It's just the little thingy bobber there. So, it's the link, but not the link. Does that make sense? But up after me is Mischief Managed Creations by Tanya. And like I say, this is the Southern Messy Crafters group. If y'all aren't already following me over at White's Creative Designs, I hope that you will. I would love to have you. And we'll go ahead and get all these put together tomorrow. I'm going to just leave everything just like it is right now. And we will put the stands on, and I'll show y'all my little trick. All right. I love y'all bunches. Y'all make sure to go over with Miss Tanya. Thank y'all for coming in. I know I've been absent, a little MIA, and thank y'all for keeping me in your prayers. Just keep them coming. I need them. And we love y'all so much. But I'm going to go so she can get going. Y'all have a great day. Bye.